Did you know that drawing can be fun and easy? Draw with me this bunny and a bunch of chicks. I'm drawing on 9 by 9 inches. More details you can find below the video with some drawing tips, so check it out. We start with coloring. Sketch won't be a part of your final drawing, but it's a good helper to have an idea about the main shapes, so grab this sketch from my Patreon and use it as a guideline. Or pause the video and make your own sketch. Or go even right in color if you want, it's up to you. Let's get started. Lower the sketch opacity. Create a new layer below. Select soft gray color and a wine charcoal brush. Draw the bunny. Try different brush sizes for the best results. Now switch to my furry brush tool or any fur brush you have. Draw tiny fur all around. Make your bunny fluffy, draw long or tiny fur, it's up to you. Turn on the sketch and fix it if needed. Turn on the sketch and create a new layer below the body. Select a pink color and wine charcoal and fill the ears. Select even brighter pink and draw on the edges. Tap on the smudge tool and the noise brush. Smudge pink colors slightly. Create another layer below the ears. Using gray color and my fur brush again, draw the fluffy edges around the ears. We add some shades to the ears. Create a new layer above the ears and tap on the clipping mask. Select a very dark pink color and a medium airbrush. Draw a gentle shade on the inner sides. Don't push too hard on the screen, just gentle. You can merge all those layers. Now we can add the base shading on the body. create a new layer above the bunny and tap on the clipping mask. Select the dark gray color. Draw a shade on the bottom part of the head and the body. Then behind the nose and under the paws. We can fix it later when we draw the other parts. Create a new layer above the shade, select the gray color and white charcoal. Draw the paws. Just the front part. Jump back to the body layer and draw the rest of the paws. It's easier to manage shading like that. Draw fur on the paws using my furry brush. Be sure you are in the right layer. Feel free to make any adjustments along the way, jump between layers as you need. Now soften the shade using an eraser with medium airbrush. Tap on the paws layer and draw also the other paws using one charcoal and then also my furry brush. I want to fix this part here. Maybe more rounded. Here is a great tool. Tap on the magic wand, on the liquify option and push option. Here select the size of your move and literally push the shape. Great, and I draw more fur here. Next, create a new layer above the paws, tap clipping mask and draw shade using medium airbrush. On the bottom parts. Soften it with an eraser. Turn on the sketch, create a new layer and select the pink color. Draw a simple nose using the same brush. And with the black color, simple strong lines for the eyes and smile. Tap on the smudge tool and blur this part of the smile. Then using an eraser, fix the shape and get truly precise lines. For me it's easier to use an eraser than the brush. I feel better control over the strokes. Now create a new layer below the eyes and select the dark gray color and my full brush 5 or any very thin brush. Draw some details on the face, those lines above the eyelashes. Eyebrows. Even draw over the eyelashes and smile. Create a new layer above the nose and tap on the clipping mask. Select the dark pink color and noise brush. Using a bigger brush size, draw shade at the bottom. Smudge it slightly. And using a small brush size, draw the nostrils. Maybe a stronger shade here. Create a new layer for the highlights. Select very bright pink color and use very small brush size. Draw around the nostrils. And with a bigger brush size on the top. Smudge it slightly. You can match those face layers. Make a round of highlights also on the body in a new layer above the body shading. Pay attention to the details on the face. Now we add 4 details. Create a new layer below the sketch, select my full brush 5. And maybe start with a dark color. Define the shapes, outline all parts, they pop up better. And also some details. For example, those puffs lines. Now select the gray color and draw a fur over the nose at the bottom part. It creates a feeling that the nose grows from the fur, not just sitting on the surface. Maybe use an even brighter color and a new layer for the one more round. Pay attention to the details on the face. This can help level up your drawing. More tones and brush sizes gives your character dynamic and won't be just flat. See when I turn off those fur layers? What a difference, right? Now cheeks, create a new layer at the bottom. Select the rich yellow color and one charcoal. Draw fluffy balls. We will draw cheeks in a few layers, so pay attention to it. For another cheeks, create a new layer below the puffs. Now we finish those and then draw the rest of the cheeks. Tap on the bottom cheek layer. Select my Fur Brush tool. Draw the fur. Also on the other cheeks under the puffs. For this one, we need another layer below. Use one charcoal and free brush again. It will be easier to draw shade and details if you keep cheek in the separate layers, especially those that overlap each other. I forgot to add fur around this one. I will show you how to draw details on a few cheeks, and the rest you can try by yourself. Just keep an eye on my screen. Create a new layer above those cheeks on the puffs. Select white color and medium airbrush. Draw the eyes. You can use any size and any placement you want. I need to erase those parts of the bunny's fur. Now create a new layer above the cheek's eyes. Tap on the clipping mask. Select their orange color and draw a gentle shade inside the eyes on the edges. Then in a new layer and using black color, draw pupils. And with white color and small brush size, dot in here. In another layer, draw an orange beak. Using darker orange and the noise brush, add some details. And also highlight using a bright color. You can merge those face layers. Create a new layer above the bodies and tap on the clipping mask. Select very dark yellow and draw some shading behind the eyes. Switch to the medium airbrush and draw shade at the bottom parts and behind the puffs. Maybe also with a very dark color. Now do the same for this cheek. If you want to move with some parts, use the arrow tool up here. Create a new layer above those 3 cheeks, select very bright yellow, and a fur brush 5. Add details and tiny fur. Also overlap the eyes. Eyes don't just sit on the surface, like we did for a bunny's nose. I'm not really happy with this cheek, so I make some adjustments. Give me a minute. Okay, much better. Now we can also add tiny wings if you want. Now we will draw an egg over this one cheek here. Create a new layer, select the bright blue color and medium airbrush. Draw a shape, then hold your pen on the screen to make it more precise. Drag the color inside. Using the push option, fix the shape into an egg. Now tap on the lasso tool, set the freehand option. Color filter off. Draw this zigzag line and go all around. Tap on the arrow tool here and move with this part of the egg. Fix the perspective with the warp option here. You can draw each part of the egg separately, but like this, both parts matched together. Fix the placement if needed, but first circle it with the lasso tool. Now create a new layer below and draw the eyes on those cheeks. And continue like we did before, shades, pupils and white dots, big shading and so on. I speed it a bit, but take your time. Now the egg. Create a new layer above, tap on the clipping mask. Select the white color and the noise brush. Draw some highlights on the top. And using a very small brush size on the edges. In a new layer, using a dark color medium and brush, draw a bit of shade. If you want to level up your drawing, create a new layer below the cheek and draw the eggshell behind the cheek as well. Also with a bit of shade. And maybe fix the shade on this cheek and make it stronger behind the eggshell. Now the last one, but feel free to draw more cheeks if you want, or rather less, it's up to you. Final shading. Create a new layer at the very bottom. Select the very dark yellow and the medium airbrush. Draw a strong shade under the bunny and cheeks. Soften it with an eraser. Now in another layer, using the black color, draw another shade, just very close to the feet and cheeks. Smudge slightly and fix with an eraser if needed. Now pay attention to shading on the bunny. Tap on the right layer and make it stronger behind the cheeks. Create a new layer on the very top and using my full brush 5, draw grey fur into the shading. I love those details. And also overlap paths with the yellow fur. And if you want, add also dark whiskers. I will show you one trick for super easy shade behind your character. You can of course draw it, but try this. Turn off the background and two under shade layers. Now tap on this tool up here, on the Add option and copy canvas. Turn on the background and shades layer again. Now you have the full drawing in one layer. Tap on the magic wand, the very first option, and lower the brightness to 0%. Then tap again on the magic wand and now on the Gaussian blur. Drag your pen on the screen to 6% to make it blurry. Now move with it a bit to the left. Maybe blur it a bit more. And lower the opacity. You can fix it with an eraser or change the placement. This can help your character pop up more on the white background. And now, if you want, draw some cute hearts or any details you want around. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to share your bunny with cheeks and tag me so I can see it. Try more of my tutorials and also join our Easter drawing challenge on my Patreon. See you next time!